from training. You know, you should just continue to train, and like I said, it's hard as a high school person. Because in high school, people are they're not adults yet. They're not 18 yet usually, and when fights occur, people don't really get in trouble. So there's possibilities of more fights going on. All right. When you train the martial arts and they attack you, then you might have to just defend. You're gonna have to defend yourself. And I guess those may be your real occurrences of um, basically just testing out, experimenting with what you learned. Think of it, I guess, as a sparring situation, and just protect yourself. And that's where you're going to gain most of your experience. In high school, I guess, when people are really trying to challenge you and they try to attack you, then you just have to defend yourself. And as an adult, it's going to get less than that, because now the laws involved, and typically people are not going to be um, able to challenge you unless you accept the challenge. But in high school, there's more likely of a chance of people actually trying to physically hurt you, and then you're going to have to defend yourself. So just defend yourself, the best you can, and that's going to be part of your experiences. And once people find out that you're a martial artist, there's no hiding around it anymore. Now that's something I guess you have to live up to, and I guess represent what a real martial artist should be. I guess a humble and modest individual that's there to protect the weak and protect himself. And now you got a bunch of arrogant street fighters that want to hurt you. And then you're just gonna have to defend yourself, and just basically prove them wrong. And show them, this is what you're training for. To basically protect yourself. If you feel that, practicing in private might be best, so then less people will know that you practice martial arts, then I guess that may be the route that you should take until you feel that you're ready, where you're not going to allow these people to control your life and dictate when and where you train. Alright? So that really depends on when you're ready to do that. But if you get to a certain point, you're not going to allow people to dictate when and where you're going to train. You're going to train when you feel like training. And if they're going to try to hurt you and come at you physically, then you're going to have to defend yourself. That's all it is. To the point where you train in martial arts and you end up training how to fight, and you end up getting to the point where you're not even scared of fighting. You actually enjoy fighting. So then when these people come at you, then you just practice on them. But I mean, high school is difficult. I'm not gonna say it's not. It is difficult. But this is part of the reason why you're gonna train hard, I guess. Now, if they start saying things, if you're so strong, why don't you hit me? Then we'll see what you're made of. Don't hit them. Anytime they try to put you down verbally or whatever, you should have the mental, spiritual training to just ignore it and just continue about your way. Just continue to train peacefully, express yourself artistically. Don't let them get to you in that way. Alright? But what I'm specifically talking about is that they physically try to attack you, then you're going to have to defend yourself. But verbally, and it's them being jealous and trying to put you down or trying to compete with you, don't pay any attention to it. Just go about, go on about your way, and continue just to do your thing. Okay. So you said, thought of as a nerd to be bullied, but I'm thought of as inferior because I don't live my life for other people. They hold me to a certain stereotype, and when I don't meet their standards, they turn their noses up at me. All right. There's always gonna be bullies out there. All right. And when they say nerd, you gotta define nerd. Okay. The thing about it, in high school, they come up with these stupid terms that distort your mind into not being yourself and just being totally false. Alright, nerd, in high school, they call people nerds. Alright, as an adult, an educated, intelligent adult, what is the definition of nerd? Definition of a nerd, to me, is somebody that strives to be educated, who's intelligent, and that's a good thing. You should never allow anybody to stop you from being educated. These are ignorant people that view you as a nerd. And if they're going to view you as a nerd, you should be proud. Yeah, I'm educated, and you're ignorant. And that's something you should not be ashamed of. Don't allow them to impose that negative way of thinking onto you. You're an intellectual, not a nerd. Well, if they're gonna say nerd, if they're gonna say intellectual is a nerd, then okay, you're a nerd and you're intellectual, and that's a great thing to be. Okay. Someone like Einstein, for example, was he a nerd? They're gonna label him a nerd. Okay, he was a nerd, but look at all he's accomplished. These people, what they try to do is that they are so insecure within themselves, so untalented, unskilled, they try to attack you from all angles. So if they're not smarter than you, then they're gonna try to prove that they're physically better than you. Alright, like the like those jocks or whatever. Okay. Now if they are smarter than you, then they're gonna flaunt that over you and be like, hey, I got better test scores than you. It's just the ego thing. Alright, so if you're smarter than them and they have no leverage on you, and then all they do is work out and they're stronger than you, then what you do, you could use that as a motivation to better yourself physically, so then you have them in all aspects and they have nothing on you. So then you're smarter than them, you're stronger than them, you can fight better than them. You got everything over them where there's nothing they have left. They have no ammunition to hit at you. And that's towards the striving of perfection, of the body, mind, and spirit. Okay? And there's always going to be people out there that get jealous, that have hatred. When they see that you're talented, they're going to try to put you down. When they see that you're a beginner at something, they're going to try to put you down. Alright? I know it's difficult being in high school, and there's a lot of ignorance there, but just don't let don't let that distort your mind. Alright? If you allow these people to stop you from excelling, then you really are really just missing out on a lot in life. Okay, you want to be able to express yourself and be yourself, and just pay no attention to these people. Just continue to train.